Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalaya Taksham Bhagavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Bhagom Digamaniya Vishesha Shobham
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Asa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Lasyan Dipan Dikayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
For the pleasure of the Lordship, Shri Radha Vallabha, Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Shri Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. Sankirtan score report for Thursday, 5th of May. Books distributed Chandra Sharma Prabhu, 5 Mahabik for 10 book points. Zach Prabhu, 5 small, 1 medium, 5 big, 3 Mahabig for 12.75 book points. Matsya Mataji, 3 small, 2 big, 2 Mahabig, 1 Bhagavatam set for 78.75 Lakshmi points, book points. And Mahalakshmi Mataji, 1 big, 3 Mahabig, 3 Bhagavatam sets, and 2 Chaitanya Charitamrita sets for 295 book points. That's the daily total of 8 small, 1 medium, 8 big, 13 Mahabig, 4 Bhagavatam sets, and 2 Chaitanya Charitamrita sets for 396.5 book points. Preaching score, Radhe Chaibar, 100 guests for 1,210 Lakshmi points. Gopal's 189 guests for 2,270 Lakshmi points. And Crossways, 349 guests for 2,936 Lakshmi points. Lakshmi liberated Chandra Sharma Prabhu 80, Zach Prabhu 104, member services 352, Matsya Mataji 359, and Mahalakshmi Mataji 1,345. That gives a daily total of 2,240 and a weekly total of 8,447 Lakshmi points. Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Bando mui savadana mate Bando mui savadana mate Bando mui savadana mate Jahara prasade bai he bhavatoriya jahai Jahara prasade bai he bhavatoriya Jahai Prasade Bai He Bhavaturiya Jahai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jahai Hoite Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoite Vakya Chitete Koriya Kya Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Akya Arana Kori Ho Mane Asha Arana Kori Ho Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Este Uttama Gati Shri Guru Charane Rati Este Uttama Gati Je prasade pure sarva asha Je prasade pure sarva asha चकुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चकुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेमा भक्ति जहाँ होते अवे जावे नाशायाते प्रेमा भक्ति जहाँ होते अवे जावे नाशायाते वेद गाय जहर चरितो वेद गाय जहर चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आत्मा जानारा बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आत्मा जानारा बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेरा जीवाना लोकनाथ लोकेरा जीवाना आहा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पादा छाया आहा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पदा छाया मोरे पदा ए बेजात गुसु त्रिभुवाना गुसु त्रिभु ए बेजात गुसु त्रिभुवाना Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannath, Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Radha Vallabha, Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe. Jayo Radha Vallabha, Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo, Haribo. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Abhayachana in the Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Jai Vishwapad Bhavanti Parijakacarya Sutta Sri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Sri Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki. Prem se kaho Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaurvasta Vrinda ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki. Ganga Mai ki. Yamuna Mai ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Tulsi Mai ki.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari 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 Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana 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 Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Hare Govinda Jaya Gopala Jaya Govinda Govinda Jaya Gopala Jaya Govinda Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Radha Ramana Govinda Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Govinda Jaya Gopala Jaya Govinda Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Gauranita Jaya Gauranita 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 Jaya Gauranita 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 Jaya Gauranita Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे राधा वल्लभ श्री राधे जय 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 राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह 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 जय नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज 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 जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। I agree. Glass of water, please. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Sakshurvunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gata Mahyam Datati Swapatantika. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum dhinatarinam paramanandamadavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamutirayet. Shinvatam swakata Krishna punyasravana kirtanam hridayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 7. The title of the chapter is Indra Offends Brihaspati. Text number 37. Thank you. Thank you. Text number 37. Text number 37, only translation, so I will read text number 38 also, if you don't mind. Tatapi na pratibhruyan gurubihi pratihitam kiya bhavata prartitam sarvam pranay artay cha sadhaye tatapi na pratibhruyam gurubihi prarthitam kiya Gurubihi prarthitam kiya bhavatam prarthitam sarvam bhavatam prarthitam sarvam pranair hartaischa sadhaye pranair artaischa sadhaye tatapi na pratibhruyam gurubihi prarthitam kiya bhavatam prarthitam sarvam pranair artaischa sadhaye tatapi na pratibhruyam gurubihi prarthitam kiya bhavatam prarthitam sarvam pranair artaischa sadhaye tatapi na pratibhruyam gurubihi prarthitam kiya bhavatam prarthitam sarvam pranair artaischa sadhaye tatapi na pratibhruyam gurubihi prarthitam kiya bhavatam prarthitam sarvam pranair arthaischa sadhaye tatapi na pratibhruyam gurubihi prarthitam kiya bhavatam prarthitam sarvam pranair artaischa sadhaye tatapi na pratibhruyam gurubihi prarthitam kiya bhavatam prarthitam sarvam pranair artaischa sadhaye tatapi na pratibhruyam gurubihi prarthitam kiya bhavatam prarthitam sarvam pranair artaischa sadhaye tatapi na pratibhruyam gurubihi prarthitam kiya Bhavatam prartitam sarvam pranair artair cha sadhaye tadapena pratibroyam gurubihi prartitam kiya Bhavatam prartitam sarvam pranair artair cha sadhaye tata api still not pratibhruyam I may refuse gurubihi by persons on the level of my spiritual master prartitam request kiyat of small value bhavatam of all of you prartitam the desire sarvam whole pranay by my life artai by my possessions cha also sadhaye I shall execute. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All of you are my superiors. Therefore, although accepting priesthood is sometimes reproachable, I cannot refuse even a small request from you. I agree to be your priest. I shall fulfill your request by dedicating my life and possessions. Who is speaking this? Any idea? Who is speaking? Huh? Who is Vishwarupa? Tvashta. Okay. So what is the request? Priest. Why? What happened to the original priest? Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. So this verse no purport, so I'll just read the next verse. Shri Bhadarayinir Uvacha. I think it's not the border, is there? Not there. No, sorry. I'll just read it because I may not be able to repeat actually. Shri Bhadarayinir Uvacha Tebhya evam pratishrutya Vishwarupo Mahatapaha Paurahityam Vritas Chakre Paramena Samadhina Sri Bhadarayini Vacha Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Tebhya unto them, the demigods, evam thus, pratishrutya promising, Vishwarupa Mahatapaha, the most exalted personality, Paurhityam, the priesthood, Vrita, surrounded by them, Chakre, executed, Paramena, supreme, Samadhina, with attention. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Sukadeva Goswami continued, O king, after making this promise to the demigods, the exalted Vishwarupa, surrounded by the demigods, performed the necessary priestly activities with great enthusiasm and attention. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word samadhina is very important. Samadhi means complete absorption with an undiverted mind. Vishwarupa, who was a most learned Brahmana, not only accepted the request of the demigods, but took their request seriously and performed the activities of the priesthood with an undiverted mind. In other words, he accepted the priesthood not for material gain, but to profit the demigods. Such is the duty of a priest. The word pura means family and hita means benefit. Thus the word purohita indicates the priest is the well-wisher of the family. Another meaning of the word pura is first. A priest's first duty is to see that his disciples benefit spiritually and materially by all means. Then he is satisfied. A priest should never be interested in performing Vedic rituals for his personal benefit. So this section of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam we we saw how Indra, because of his situation in the opulence and everything, he got intoxicated and he forgot who he is. And then when Brahaspati entering the arena, didn't offer any respect, didn't even get up. So this is a very grievous offense. And Brahaspati could have taken some action, but Brahaspati didn't do that because he just silently he left that place. So now Indra is pleading to Brahmaji, and Brahma is requesting, now you go to Vishwarupa, who is the son of Tvashta, who is able to act as a priest for you, so that, because we think here in this material world or in this universe, we have a lot of problems, like the one country problem, the other country problem, both are fighting. So even if you go to Devaloka, also the same problems are there. Devas are also always worried actually. What is going to happen? What is going to happen next? When is the Asuras are going to come? When they are going to take over? They say all this, the problems are there. So this is wherever we go within this material world, the same problems will be there. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma bhuvanaloka punaravartino Arjuna. So wherever you go, the same problems will be there. So Indra, having done this mistake, so he is now requesting, the Devatas are requesting, demigods are requesting Vishwarupa to be the priest. So Srila Prabhupada says in the first sloka, all of you are my superiors. So this is how Vishwarupa, even though he is a great Brahmana, he is a great authority, and how he is addressing, all of you are my superiors, therefore, although accepting priesthood is sometimes reproachable, I cannot refuse even a small request from you. So this is, the Vedic system is, we are duty bound to give respect to the superiors. We find in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna was about to fight, at that time, who are all there? Who is going to fight with Arjuna? Grandfathers, uncles, yeah, teacher, yeah, all these people, friends and relatives, yeah. There are so many superiors actually. Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, these are all great personalities. So Arjuna is very worried actually. Even Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, even a verbal dispute is considered like a very offensive. What to talk of pick up the bow and arrow and shooting arrows at them. This is considered like a very, very offensive. So this is the system. The Vedic system is not to treat the superiors like a, we have to give respect. Because why the superiors have to be given respect? Arjuna also says that. Superior, because it's like when the superiors are passing, not there, then who is going to guide? Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatana dharme nashte kulam krishnam adharma abhivavatuda. Because if all the superiors and all these elderly people, they are not there, who is going to guide? Who is going to give instruction? Who is going to give direction? This is very, very important point. So the superiors have to be respected. But at the same time, Lord Krishna also says, there is another point also, apatai. Srila Prabhupada calls there is a apatai. The person who is transgressing certain principles, he is to be punished. Apatai means aggressors. Aggressor. Prabhupada says 6 kinds of aggressors. In that first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 6 kinds of aggressors are there. Those who fires and kidnaps the wife and gives poison. All these details are. So if somebody is apatai, then that person should be given as punishment as possible. Punishment has to be given. So we have to understand how the apatai and the superiors also. So Krishna says, even though they are superiors, but they have deviated from their position. So that's why here it is mentioned, Vishwarupa is saying, all of you are my superiors, therefore, although accepting priesthood is sometimes reproachable. Why accepting priesthood is sometimes reproachable? What is reproachable first, before understanding what is reproachable? Any English Pandits here? Reproachable. Huh? No, you are using the same reproach again. What is reproach? Meaning of reproach. Sorry, don't mistake. I was also, just before that one, I looked at the dictionary and came. Don't that I knew the reproach, I also don't know reproach. Reproach means blame. Blame somebody or blaming somebody. So accepting priesthood is sometimes reproachable. Why it is reproachable is sometimes what happens is like in the name of priesthood, we may accept something, we may get something, and then we use for our own sense gratification. And the priest will have some motivation on his own motivation, on his own. So that is why generally it is not, normally it is not accepted. Priesthood is like don't accept priesthood as easily as possible. Nowadays it's very lucrative business. Now it's a lucrative business. Oh, I am this priest of this temple, I am priest of that temple, I am priest of this this Goshala. Like they become like because a lot of money is coming, but the money, there is one more thing is coming. What is that coming? Karma, yeah, because you may accept money. You may accept the person will give money. But if you use this money for our own sense gratification, then we are also answerable actually. It applies to all of us actually. Because when somebody gives some donation or some money, yes, we are entitled to use it, okay. But they are giving the money and we have to use as much as possible in the service of the Lord. And also our maintenance is also required. It's not that we have to be stand in the street. We have to maintain ourselves. So that is why the priesthood is sometimes reproachable, because in the previous verse, Srila Prabhupada says here, the Brahmana, this is not many years ago, a Brahmana in Krishna Nagara near Navadvip was offered some help from the local Jamindar, Vraja Krishna Chandra. The Brahmana refused to accept the help. The Brahmana said, oh, I don't need any help. Why do I need a help actually? I have the brahmacharis or my disciples are going out and collecting the rice. There's a tamarind tree here. I'll just put this and cook something. And I don't need any help. Because sometimes taking help means we are taking karma. Unnecessarily. We have to take sometimes, we have to take help, but that is why, even though it is reproachable, I cannot refuse even a small request from you. I agree to your priest, I shall fulfill your request by dedicating my life and possessions. So this is very, very, very important. Srila Prabhupada quotes this, there is a sloka in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Yetava janma sapalyam dehinam ihadehishu pranair artair dhiya vacha shreya acharanam sada. Translation, it is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence and words. We have 4 things in control. We have 4 things in control. What are the 4 things? Pranair, Arthair, Dhiya, Vacha. Pranair means, what is prana? Life. This is life. Prana. Prana is a synonym is there. It says pranair, Arthair. Prana means you have the benefit of life, and then Artha is wealth, Dhiya means intelligence, and Vacha means words. So we have to use whatever. That's why he is saying he is taking 2. Because when we are engaged in some activities, we want to give full attention. We don't want to, I want to be a priest, okay, just I'll do a little bit here, little bit there and go away. No, not like that. Because we have to give full attention. Because when you are performing sacrifice, when you are performing some ritual, all these things, you have to put your mind into that. You have to put your mind, because that is why in the Srila Prabhupada says that in the Vedic system, the Brahmana has to be qualified. Then only the whole thing effect will be there. Because otherwise, if the Brahmana is not qualified, then whatever the mantra and all this chanting and everything will be ineffective actually. Previously, when they are doing some ahuti, when they are performing some sacrifice, Indraya Swaha, when you say Indraya Swaha, then Indra accepts this offering. Because all these the different the demigods, they used to, their interplanetary travel is there. They used to come. When Yudhishthira Maharaj was there, all these people were also there. But our problem is because now we think like we are performing Aswamedha Yajna, this Yajna, that Yajna, it's not effective. These qualified people are not there, and there are so many doshas are there. That is why they would come. Indra and Chandra, why they have to come just for we are calling immediately they have to come? No, they are not obligated. But if there is a purity is there, if there is a proper chanting and everything is there, then they will come. So here, and it's mentioned here, Diya, see, the Arthair, Pranair, Arthair, Diya, Vacha. So this is like these things, the Vishwarupa is saying to the Devata, demigods, that I will use all my things, whatever in my possessions, so I will become a priest and I will support you. So this is the thing he is saying. And then the next sloka, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, O king, after making this promise to the demigods, the exalted Vishwarupa, surrounded by the demigods, performed the necessary priestly activities with great enthusiasm and attention. So now, if we understand what are the Brahmana, the Bhagavad Gita talks about the characteristics of the Brahmana, what the Brahmana is supposed to do, or not so, the nature of the Brahmana. It says in the 18th chapter, Samodhamas tapas saucham shantir arjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavacham. So it's very interesting because these qualities, sometimes we may get this Brahman initiation. So, but the thing is, it's like these things, if the qualities are already there, it's well and good. Otherwise, these qualities are given so that we have to acquire the qualities, actually. So, we have to, because these are all the qualities of a Brahmana. The translation is peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. These are all the qualities we have to, this is very, very conducive for our spiritual life. Because these qualities like Sama is peacefulness, Dhamma is self-control, Tapa, austerity, Saucham, purity, Shanta, Shanti, tolerance, Arjavam, honesty, Eva, certainly, Cha and Jnanam, knowledge, Vijnanam, wisdom, Astikyam, religiousness, Brahma of Brahmana, Karma, duty, Swabhavajam, born of his own nature. So these are all the activities of, these are all the characteristics of the Brahmana. We can see, we'll, as the next chapter also, we are going to see how Vishwarupa is a great Brahmana, and then he performed these activities, the priestly activities, and he could get that Narayana Kavacha, and then how the Narayana Kavacha, Indra, he's giving this Narayana Kavacha to Indra, and then how Indra is able to conquer all these demons. We'll find all the details there. So this is the Brahmana is such a person, he gives always good advice. And the other place also, Srila Prabhupada explains, what are the activities of the Brahmana? There are 6 activities, 6 activities of Brahmana. What are 6 activities? Anyone remember? What are 6 activities of Brahmana? Patan, Patan, thanks Mate. Patan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dhana, Pratigraha. Patan means studying. Patan means, Sanskrit is very nice language. Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dhana, Pratigraha. Patan means studying, and Patan means teaching. Patan, Yajan, Yajan. He will worship and he will induce the Yajaman to worship also. Yajan, Yajan. Dhana, Pratigraha. Brahmana will accept charity and he will give in charity also. Brahmana is not the one who is hoarding everything, whatever it may be, whether wealth or knowledge or anything, he won't hoard anything. He should not hoard anything. Because this is Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dhana, Pratigraha. Srila Prabhupada says in one place, I'll just read this, what Srila Prabhupada exact words here. A Brahmana, everyone has to earn livelihood. That is a fact. Without working, you cannot live. So there are specific, just like a Brahmana, Yajan, Yajan, Patan, Dhana, Pratigraha. He must be very good worshipper of the Lord and must induce his Yajaman, his dependent. Brahmana is the head and Kshatriya, Vaisya, they are Yajaman. So they should induce just like we are inducing all over the world. So Srila Prabhupada gives the example how Srila Prabhupada is inducing all over the world to people to open the temple, to print the books and distribute the books. All these things he is inducing. So that is the quality of a Brahmana. Brahmana has to induce so that the Yajaman, who is a Yajaman? Yajaman means like for whom the sacrifice or whatever is performed actually. For example, if Vishwarupa is there, Vishwarupa is performing everything for the demigods. So the demigods are the Yajaman. So he is a priest. So priest's duty is to, for the benefit of the Yajaman, all the activities he has to perform. So that is why it's mentioned. And Srila Prabhupada continues in that. This is like in the previous sloka also it was mentioned, Silochana. This is the Brahmana, how not all the Brahmanas will accept the dana. Because this is like some Brahmanas may not accept dana. This is called Unchavritti. Unchavritti or Silochana. Which Prabhupada refers that as when a Brahmana adopts the profession of a kapota or a pigeon, he lives by collecting grains from the field. This is called Unchavritti. A Brahmana who takes his Unchavritti profession is called first class because he depends completely on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, does not beg from anyone. Although the profession of begging is allowed for a Brahmana or a sannyasi, one does better if he can avoid such profession and completely depend on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead for maintenance. So this is out of the 4 orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, this is like only the Brahmana is allowed to beg actually. Not the Vaishya, Kshatriya. Kshatriya will accept tax actually. Kshatriya. He can accept tax because he is giving protection. For that, he will take some tax. That's okay. But Brahmana is authorized. He can take money. But if he takes money, but he has to use in the service of the Lord also. His maintenance is there, but he has to use in the service of the Lord also. Otherwise, he will get implicated. Brahmanas will get implicated. Prabhupada says in the purport, the word samadhina is very important. Samadhi means complete absorption with an undiverted mind. Vishwarupa, who was the most learned Brahmana, not only accepted the request for demigods, but took the request seriously and performed the activities of a priesthood with an undiverted mind. So this is very, very important because the priest, he has a great responsibility because it's not essential or it is not necessary that all the other Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, they will know all the details. They may not know all the details. So, but Brahmana, because he is a Nipuna, Srila Prabhupada says, Satkarma Nipuna Vipra. He's a Brahmana, is called Satkarma Nipuna Vipra, Mantra Tantra Visharata. Because he is very expert in the chanting mantras, expert in all the scriptures, so he can give guidance actually. Because when you see like a great personalities like a Maharaj Janaka, big, so they all had a family priest. They had a family priest, Vasishta. They had a Vasishta, and also the Dasharatha Maharaj also had Vasishta. Like these different personalities, they have a great personalities guiding them. First they will ask them, any duty before the king makes any, okay, this is the decision I want to take, so they will use to consult. This consultation is there. Even though he may be a king, he is a big Maharaj, but still he is consulting the Brahmana, what should we do? And the Brahmana is like an equipoise. He will not give instruction in any way which is going to create problem for him. And he will give instruction in such a way that the person makes spiritual advancement and also materially also he is not going to be a loser. Actually. When Chanakya Pandit was offered like a Chandragupta Maurya, this is one of the recent history, Chandragupta Maurya, he wanted to give some, Chanakya Pandit was his minister, a kind of advisor. I wanted to give you some salary, but Chanakya Pandit said, I don't want your salary. Because Chanakya Pandit is his Brahmana, he said, I don't want your salary, because if I take your salary, what will happen? Then I will be obligated, then I have to give instructions, so that I have to protect myself, and then accordingly I will give instruction. So I will put my interest in front if I am getting salary from you. So that is why they are very, very careful not to get entangled. Like if I take money from the king, so that means I have to give instruction according to that. That is why the Bhishma Dev and all the personalities, they lamented actually. They lamented when Maharani Draupadi was insulted in the assembly, they could not say anything. They could not say anything. Why? Because they're dependent on the Duryodhana, the financial support actually. Because of that, because they have taken some support. If you are taking from support, then you may not be able to speak very openly because you are duty bound or you are obligated to the person. So accordingly, you have to keep quiet or you just tolerate that. That is not very good. So that is why it is very important where what we accept and whether we accept this type of, even if you accept something, if you use in the service of the Lord, then there's no problem. Krishna can digest anything. We can't digest, but Krishna can digest anything. So that's why I offer that to Krishna. And then as for maintenance, we have to take something. Now we are not like Ramarajya is not running here. You go to the supermarket, you have to pay money actually. I'm a Hare Krishna devotee. They're not going to say that, oh, you're a Hare Krishna devotee, you just go. You don't have to go through the counter, just go like that. No, they're not going to say that. You have to pay money. So we need money also. We are not saying that no, we need money. We need some maintenance is there. But what we have to do is, whatever is essential, needed, whatever is needed, that we have to keep it. And the rest if we can offer, then we won't get implicated. Otherwise, the same question, like Yajnartat karmanon anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanat. Karma bandhana will come for us also if we are not careful. If we think, okay, the money is coming, then let me use a little bit. If I use for my own thing, what will happen? Yeah, it will happen. It will create some karma for us, and then we have to go through another life. Why we want to take that risk actually? So Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, Vishwarupa, who was a learned Brahmana, not only accepted the request of the demigods, but took the request seriously and performed activities. In other words, he accepted the priesthood not for material gain, but for profit of the demigods. So this is very important because the priest has to be see the benefit of that Yajaman. Not my benefit. What am I going to get? Or how much dakshina he is going to give? Or what is going to happen to me? If he starts thinking like that, then it's not a proper attitude for a priest actually. You do, because the priest depends on the Supreme Lord. The person gives or not gives, it is not dependent on only the Yajaman. The Paramatma within the Yajaman, he direct, okay, now you go and give. Srila Prabhupada says in one place, in one of the quotes, if somebody is not giving a donation, you do your duty, and if they are not giving a donation, and then you don't feel bad or anything, because the Paramatma has not induced him to do that actually. Because the suitable Sukruti has not come for him to give this donation. Because that way, if you think like that, you don't get offended or you don't get depressed or anything. Like, yeah, I did my duty. And I went, presented this and I asked him. He didn't give his prerogative. So Paramatma has not induced him. That is why it is not happening. So if you have that type of approach, then there is no problem. So here, such is the duty of a priest. The word pura means family, hita means benefit. Srila Prabhupada wonderfully explained. So most of the time we say purohit. What is purohit? He just splits the word. Pura means family, hita means benefit. Purohita means the person who is for the welfare of the family, welfare of the Yajaman. So that is one meaning of purohita. Therefore, the word purohita indicates priest is the well-wisher of the family. Well-wisher. The family is there because even in India nowadays, you go, every family will have a family priest actually. Whatever happens, good activities, marriage or some other celebration, the purohit will come, or even the other karyas. Somebody passes away, then also purohit will come. The purohit will be there. There is like you have a lawyer, you have an engineer, you have a plumber, you have in a house, you have a person for everything. The same way you have a purohit also. Because purohit, he is the well-wisher of the family. He will come and perform some homa, Narasimha homa, or some yajna he will perform for the benefit of the family. So this is the mood actually. This is a service. Not only it's not purohit is not a business, it is a service actually. Like a temple also. It's not, we are not running a profit organization. It is like a service. Service is offered. And whatever the devotees give, that is accepted, that is given to the service of the Lord actually. So this is very important. And Srila Prabhupada says, the word purohita indicates that the priest is the well-wisher of the family. Another meaning of the word pura is first. A priest's first duty is to see that his disciples benefit spiritually and materially by all means. Then he is satisfied. So this is we will find in all the conversations. There was a Srila Prabhupada was asked, what will be pleasing you most? Like sometimes people ask this question. Srila Prabhupada says, when the disciples or the followers, when they make advancement and Krishna conscious advancement, that will please him most. This is the mood of a guru. Guru says, guru is not like how many things you did, how much money you brought. Those things are there if it is used in service. But most importantly, the guru is pleased when the disciple makes spiritual advancement and then goes back home, back to Godhead. That is his real treasure actually. If he can do that, so that is what the whole thing is all about actually. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this is like a special benediction. So this is like a Manushya Janma Bharata Bhumite Manushya Janma Hoilaja Janma Sartha Kari Karo Paropaka. Janma Sartha Kari. We have to make our life perfect. Janma Sapalya. We were reading in one of the sloka. Janma Sapalya. What is this Janma Sapalya? Somehow or other we have to make our life perfect. And after making life perfect, also try to help others. This is the mood of Prahlad Maharaj. Nrsingadev offered Prahlad Maharaj. Nrsingadev, no, Prahlad, I didn't want to come to Vaikuntha now, because all these Rakshasa friends are there. I want to bring all of them actually. We want to come to Vaikuntha as a goshti, not as a separately. I want to go to Vaikuntha, I will go to Vaikuntha separate. No, I don't want to Vaikuntha like that. I want to come with everyone. Srila Prabhupada also want everyone to come, not only this. He could have stayed in Vrindavan, but he came to America. Why he came? He wanted to pick us also. Otherwise, we will be still here. We will be hanging around here. So this is the lesson we can learn, how the Brahmana is very, very liberal. Very liberal. Prabhupada says in the second chapter, the miserly and the liberal. Brahmana is a liberal person. Liberal person in terms of giving the knowledge. Also Brahmana in terms of when he gets something, he distributes also. Whatever is needed, he just uses and then distributes. It's not like a hoarding. Okay, now tomorrow it will be needed. Day after tomorrow it will be. I'll just hoard it. Because if you hoard it, what will happen is you are not dependent on Krishna. You are thinking that I am dependent on this person helps, so that is why I am dependent on this person or this money. But a Brahmana, he is not dependent like that. This is like we have to be practical in this world. Like when, okay, now that is why we have a temple. We are only running a temple, running an organization. So you can't give everything, and then that means tomorrow what is going to happen. So some planning has to be there, but not too much. So much so we have built so much wealth, and then nothing else is happening. So that is why it's a great lesson we can learn from this priestlyhood, where it's a priest should never be interested in performing Vedic rituals for his personal benefit. No personal benefit. For him, no. He is performing the benefit, and also in the performing the benefit, he has to give some spiritual thing also. It's not like only karmakandiya sacrifices. No? Sometimes, we find in India, the priesthood is there. They perform all this. You perform this, you go to Swargaloka. You perform this, you go to that loka. Different inducements will be there. Instead of performing sacrifices like that, you have to give them some spiritual understanding so that they don't have to take birth again in this material world. That also they have to teach actually. It's like a priest is not only a material service actually. He has to, some of the things you have to do, but you have to give them the knowledge by which they don't have to come back again to this material world. So then only that Lord's thing, Brahma, because otherwise you perform this and you go to Indraloka, Chandraloka, there also same problem is there. Here also the election is coming, problem, there also some same problem is there. Who is going to come, who is going to win. So this problem will not be solved as long as we are in the material world. We have to go back home, back to Godhead. There won't be any situation. Vaikuntha, there is no anxiety, there is no problem. So that is what Krishna's recommendation is, like, come back to me. Come back. In the 15th chapter, Krishna says, Na tad bhasayate suryo, na sasanko na pavakaha, yad ghatva na nivartante, tad dhaman paramamo. Krishna says, you come back to my abode. There is no need of sun, no need of moon, no need of electricity. You live with me. That is Krishna's proposal. Krishna is canvassing actually. Krishna is canvassing, you come back to me. So that is why the priest has to induce the person, the Yajaman, so that he goes in the right direction. He has to go in the right direction so that he also gets the ultimate aim in life. He also gets that. That is his. So we will find in later chapters or later verses how Vishwarupa is performing his duty as a priest, and then the demigods are flourishing. And then after that again, Indra has come back to same position, some other problem he will create. So we will see in the next chapter. I'll stop here. If there are any questions or comments or corrections, please. Hare Krishna.
You explained very nicely about the priest characters there. If you like what we can take, we can apply for this part of
Yeah.
what can we
Yeah, here also, how we can apply, yes, we have priests also in our temple also. So our priests are like a transcendental priests actually. Now they are not just, you go to one place that we have a jati priest, we have a kula guru, like that. We don't follow that system. Here, as a priestly, the priestly class is there. Here, Brahmana is there. So here we follow very strictly, and also we are interested in the people like material well-being. Here also devotees perform some fire sacrifice because for a different like annaprasana or some kind of activities they have all these things. We also perform all these activities, but only difference is here whatever is being performed is not just only a material activity, it is like centered around Krishna. All the activities actually the Vedic sacrifice is like that only. Anything you perform, like whether it is a jata karma, whether it is this aksharabhyasa, whatever you do, there should be some connection with the Lord has to be there. The priest has to have very clear in his mind, I am performing this activity so that the welfare of this person, and so ultimately he gets the final destination. He has to remember that. Not just only I perform this homa for you, some sacrifice for you, so that you get some benefit, material benefit. That is not good actually. So we, unfortunately in our temple, the Brahmanas or the priests, they are performing everything according to the final benefit also, ultimate benefit of that is why Janma Sapalya, because a person has to get full benefit. He gives something, he is giving his prana, artha, dhiya, vacha. He is trying to give something to the Lord, so then we have to reciprocate. As a devotees, we have to reciprocate and then use that in his service so that person will be benefited actually. A person, assuming a person gives some money, donation. So if he use something in that, the same money in the service of the Lord, his money will be purified. Because otherwise, the money will be just, he will be using only for his sense gratification. Whatever the hard-earned money, if he gives something to Krishna, and if we rightly use that in Krishna's service, so the person will make spiritual advancement. So we have to remember that always. So somehow or other, how to facilitate that. We are like a priest is like a facilitator. We facilitate connection with the Lord. So that way we can also do that actually. Because sometimes here they bring car. They bring one car. Car puja, like they will bring the car outside and then they want to do puja for the car. Like, okay, well, actually we are not worshippers of car or anything, but still we keep one picture of the Lord and then they do some dhupa, deepa, all these things, and then request them, please regularly come to temple, because the car, because they have that mood that car is there, I have to do some puja. Because, see, that is inculcated into the system, because they know whatever we have is Lord's mercy. But they may not reciprocate like pranay, arthay, dhiya, vacha, may not be able to do like that, but at least they know the car is there, it's the Lord's mercy. So we also have to reciprocate. Yes, car you have given, Lord has given the car, so use this in the service of the Lord. Bring that car to temple and have darshan, and like that now we can encourage them. Like one person just came other day came for some annaprasana. So we had to give some grains. So grains, we gave grain, they told her, but this boy or this girl, do not give anything else, only give prasadam only. That way, like, we have to encourage them. We are not saying, no, we are not performing this sacrifice, or we are not doing the annaprasana here. Yeah, we perform everything, but ultimately we add this the fine print that you have to do this. You have to read Bhagavad Gita. So that's why in our sacrifices you see, it's not just only the homa or yajna, mantra, tantra, and reading of Bhagavad Gita, reading of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Something we do so that that person gets spiritual benefit also. So that way we can apply in our day-to-day life also. But we don't want to have this priestly thing. Now I have become a priest. Now like a big, no, not like that. Not like because sometimes we see because they don't want to give up priestlyhood. In some of the temples, if you go, they won't give up the priestlyhood. Why? Because if I give priestlyhood, that means my whole income will be gone. Their worry is that actually. And our worry is not like that. Our worry is Krishna is the provider. Krishna will provide. Krishna is the Lakshmipati. What is the problem? Prabhupada was so bold that Krishna is our provider. We are not dependent on like this or that. Krishna induces that person, or then only the person can give. It's not like I am going and asking the person is giving, I say I am a good person. No, Krishna has to induce that person. Krishna has to see the sincerity, and then Krishna will say, okay, now you give, then only the person can give. Otherwise, nothing will happen. So that way we are Hare Krishna devotees are best suited for being priest actually. We have to perform this activity. We need priests also in life. No? We have cooks are there. We have distributors are there. We have priests also we need actually. So this type of priest where the person can give transcendental knowledge also and perform some of their whatever the requirements for the different homa, yajna, that also we can perform. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Anything else? It's surprising, you know. Sivya didn't have any question today. That's all right. Now that's just, you gave me a break, I think. That's good. That's all right. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Grantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.